What's up, guys? It's your boy, the video game voting, the Nintendo World Champion. Welcome to the very first episode of the Legend of Nintendo podcast. This is just a podcast that I started way before, but we decided to bring it back. New name, fresh title. We'll be discussing everything Nintendo, and we're going to just try to do this for a weekly episode. And this is also like a test run as well. Just try to get used to streaming and things like that all over again. So that's what we're doing, and we here right now live on Twitch. I want to thank all my followers. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you guys hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, and also these episodes will be available on YouTube and all your favorite streaming platforms. You'll be able to listen to it on the go. So the idea of this podcast, obviously, is to bring you some Nintendo news, and we will be using the Nintendo website as an official source. Also be discussing some rumors here and there, things of that nature. Everything involving Nintendo, that's what we'll be doing. So let's get started. We're going to head over to the Nintendo website. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about that I was really excited about, obviously the Nintendo Direct that happened last month. I got sick. A bunch of things happened. I really wanted to discuss it right then and there, but obviously that Nintendo Direct was awesome. Me being a big Nintendo fan, I was super excited about that. Very excited about the new Super Mario game. And the game and news that I'm most excited about is the new Princess Peach game that will be eventually coming out. They didn't give much details. They just gave a little bit. But that was enough for me to get excited about. I'm super excited about that. Obviously, excited about Super Mario. The Dark Moon remake for the Nintendo Switch coming soon. As you guys know, that was a 3DS exclusive game from the Luigi's Mansion series. So I'm definitely excited about what Nintendo's offering. It looks like they are coming into 2023 like bombing. Like they had so much news, so many great releases. Obviously, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is doing very well. Nintendo Switch sales are still very high, and it looks like I believe that they will surpass the PS2 as far as sales are concerned. So here recently, about 2 weeks ago, we had a release on the Nintendo Switch, and that was Disney's Illusion Island. And that game, I'm guessing that that's some kind of play on the previous Disney Illusion games. You guys remember those on the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. Those were excellent. But we're just going to read what they have, the news available on Nintendo.com. Disney Illusion Island. Join Mickey and friends in a high-flying platforming adventure for up to 4 players. The world needs saving, and Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck, and Goofy are just the heroes we need. In Disney Illusion Island, you'll run, jump, and swim your way through the mysterious island of Monolith as you try to recover 3 mystical books. You'll explore rich biomes, meet intriguing characters, and solve puzzles as you unearth the island's hidden secrets. What it's saying is you'll be able to do 4-player co-op. It says you'll be a part of the authentic Mickey adventure, and I gotta say, like the graphics, the design, all of that, it kind of looks like, similar to Cuphead a little bit, just with its design, not in deep detail, because obviously Cuphead was amazing game, but just the design, especially being a platformer. I love platformer games. It kind of gives you that feel, it takes you back to NES, SNES games. Of course, Mickey Mouse is a very big character, if not bigger or as big a character as Super Mario, but it's great to see. I wouldn't say it's part of the Disney Illusion, Mickey Mouse Illusion series, but we gotta say, like, it's obviously a part of that, or it was the idea was spawned from those games. So I'm curious to know what you guys think down in the comment section, or if you're live in the chat, let me know what you guys think about that game. Is that something you feel that you want to pick up? That's something I'm definitely interested in. Now, I saw that on the website. I'm not sure. I haven't seen a physical version of that yet, but I'm definitely interested in that. Hopefully, if they don't have a physical version, hopefully they will at some point, and that's definitely something I look forward to picking up. And, that's definitely a Nintendo thing, especially platformers and stuff like that. And that'd be cool to enjoy on the Nintendo Switch, especially on the go, of course. All right, so next, another thing we have, of course, Pikmin 4 just released. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of Pikmin 4. I played a couple of the versions, but there is a very big fan base for Pikmin 4 that's just been released, and people are excited for it. And they've been doing a lot of things on the Nintendo website, just doing things to incorporate Pikmin and celebrate the release of the fourth installment of it. And they got some stuff right here on the website where, let's see, it says don't know anything about Pikmin, start here. So this would be great for you guys. Again, if you want to follow along with something like this or you want to catch up on your own, head over to Nintendo.com. You can read up on that. We got Pikmin 4 game just came out, so newcomers may have some questions, important questions like, what's up with these weird little guys? Why are all the plants huge, and do some of these creatures even have noses? Well, we won't get into that last one. Let's cover Pikmin basics. So, do you need to play any of the Pikmin games first? It says no. Doesn't matter if you never played a Pikmin game. Pikmin 4 is a good introduction to the series. So, sure, you'll be able to find some references to past games, but you won't be missing out, is basically what it's saying. So that's good to know for if you're curious about Pikmin. So it's giving you a brief description of what the game is about. The story starts with a space explorer named Olimar crash landing on an alien planet where everything looks supersized, from plants to ponds, objects that curiously look familiar. The good news is that the fearless rescue corps were sent to save him. The bad news is that the rescue corps also crash landed. How embarrassing. You play as a rookie rescue corps member who's the last hope to rescue everyone. What about the Pikmin, though? Fair question given is the name of the game. Pikmin are curious and loyal plant-like creatures who will help you out on your adventure. You'll see, while your character is very gutsy, your actions are somewhat limited, so you'll need help exploring the planet. The solution is to throw Pikmin at the problem. Don't worry, they seem cool with it. So, I think that's pretty cool. It kind of giving people, I guess a sneak peek or just a glimpse into Pikmin, and they're doing a lot of promotion with that. They talk about the multiplayers, upgrades, giving advice for brand new players. That's a separate post, but shout out to Pikmin. Also, next in other news, there was a few more games added to the Nintendo Switch Online, and we know that sometimes has been a topic of discussion of what Nintendo is releasing when it comes to the Nintendo Switch Online, if there's enough games, what people are looking for. And a few months ago, Nintendo had announced that they were adding the Game Boy to the Nintendo Switch Online service, which is awesome. It's fantastic that they added that. I'm sure people are excited, and that'll probably be, the best way to play some of the Game Boy games if you haven't experienced it. But the problem hinges on the fact of what will they be adding. So, back on July the 26th, Game Boy, of course, they have the Game Boy series. They had the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. And shout out to Nintendo. Nintendo with the Game Boy was such a big figure in gaming that the Game Boy itself spawned 20 years of Game Boy games, starting with the Game Boy all the way up to the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Pocket, and all these different instances and new ways to play Game Boy, and each being backwards compatible to the previous version. And, now they got the Switch and everything's handheld, and, it's basically started with the Game Boy. So shout out to them. So on July 26th, Nintendo Switch Online, the Game Boy version, has released The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages and The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. Both of these games were Game Boy Color games back in the day. So I haven't played that series, but if that's something that you play, let me know down in the comment section what you thought about those games. It may be something I should check out. If you suggest it, let me know down in the comment section. So, they basically were talking about the release and the addition of those two games, as well as other games that have already been on there, a part of the Game Boy Nintendo Switch Online library. Now, I don't know what goes into the selection process as far as what games they add on, because it kind of seems like they never truly add the games that we want, but somehow they come up with these games. I don't know if it's games that they feel like maybe didn't fare too well as far as sales and things that were played, or reviews for that matter, and maybe they feel like this is a way for them to play it, or I really don't know. Nintendo kind of goes off the rails, and they come out of left field with their decision making and why they do it. So needless to say, there are some games on there that people like, they don't really understand why it's there. And for the most part, we want the games that we want. We want the more popular games. Of course, you're gonna get your Mario games, a few Zelda games, stuff like that. But then there's those other games. For instance, when they added the N64, we want to see games. Obviously, GoldenEye, which was added to it, and that's up for discussion. Some people feel like that was a great version. And then you got some people that feel like it's not that great because you weren't able to play online. Now, I can agree that they dropped the ball by not adding online service when it comes to the 007. I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything if they've updated that or not, but they definitely for certain dropped the ball on that. Nintendo, y'all got to get it together. That's one of the things, especially trying to bring back couch co-op, which I know Nintendo's big on. And obviously you could play couch co-op, but couch co-op is kind of evolved into playing couch co-op, but online in different houses. Your buddies out of state, out the country, or whatever the case may be. That's kind of how couch co-op goes now. Very seldom are you in the same place and able to play, especially split screen. Like, that's, I wouldn't say a thing of the past, but it's just not as prominent as it once was. But I can appreciate the feel of it, bringing that feeling back of playing couch co-op games with your buddies, and you're all in one place and you're playing the game. But that just doesn't happen. A lot of games honestly don't even offer the split screen feature, which I've had times where I kind of was agitated about it, but needless to say, that's just not how games have evolved into that. So up next, let's talk about what Nintendo has coming this month in August. So first, on August 3rd, obviously that came out already. That was Brotato. I'm not sure. It's a top-down arena shooter roguelike where you play a potato wielding up to 6 weapons at a time to fight off hordes of aliens. So it's kind of like top-down 2D kind of thing going on. Looks kind of cool, but maybe something worth checking out. They don't seem, let's see if they have a price on here. Just kind of give you guys an idea. Brotato, it's a cool name for a game, I'll tell you that. So, top down shooter. You can play TV, tabletop, handheld mode, single system. It's not a large game, 243 megabytes. Looks like it's a digital only game. I don't see the price yet. Price didn't load. We're not gonna wait for it, but I'm guessing probably $20 for that game. So that was Brotato. Cool name for the game. Kind of awesome, like a potato with a pirate bandana on. Insane, could tell you. Weird. Next, on August 17th, we got Vampire Survivors. This is another like old school style feel to the game. This is, it says Vampire Survivors is a time survival game with minimalistic gameplay and roguelike elements. Mow down thousands of night creatures and survive until dawn. Vampire Survivors is a gothic horror casual game with roguelike elements, where your choices can follow you to quickly snowball against the hundreds of monsters that get thrown at you. So, I mean, just like the initial thought of this, it's an action game. These, a couple of these games, just looking at the screenshots, honestly, they look like really old school, like NES style games. But a lot of the independent video game creators, they're making games with like this feel to it. But this honestly looks like it has like the 8-bit style feel to it, but it's also like a cell phone type of game. Those games you pick up and they always got like the ads and stuff like that. Kind of weird, like, you're mowing down a ton of enemies. This, what that gives me, it's definitely giving mobile game feels to it. I don't see a price for that either, but hey, who knows? Might be pretty cool. Up next, we have on August the 18th, Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. Okay, this looks pretty cool. And I'm going to tell you now, just by looking at this, and guys, again, I'm going to remind you, if you haven't seen this, you want to check it out, head over to Nintendo.com. Actually, you know what? Let me see if I can share my screen real quick. That way, there we go. And hopefully you guys can see that. So this is Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. Bomb Rush Cyberfunk is 1 second per second of advanced funk-style battle rival crews and dispatch military police to conquer the 5 boroughs of New Amsterdam. Become all city. Start your own cipher and dance. Paint graffiti. Collect beats, combos. Combo your tricks and face off with the cops. Really? Face off the cops and stake your claim into the sprawling metropolis of New Amsterdam. Red is a graffiti writer who lost his head. Instead, has an AI robo head. In search of his roots, he joins the Bomb Rush crew, Trice and Bell, who are aiming to go all city together. They slowly discuss who it was that cut off his head and how deep Red's human side is linked to the graffiti world. That's really weird. Look at this guy's head right here. It's strange, but honestly, so that one's not coming in tabletop mode. It's got handheld and TV mode. But it's giving, if you just look right here, right, this initial image, it is definitely giving Jet Grind Radio for sure. Look at this image here. Look at that. It's definitely, I'll be honest with you guys, this looks pretty freaking cool. I'm not even going to lie to you. It looks cool. As you can see right there, there's no prices going up. But this looks like Jet Grind Radio, but like you kind of got like a crew. And you going through and just... Yeah, that looks identical to Jet Grind Radio. But I'm not sure. Let's just play this. I don't know if the audio is going. Again, we're still working on stuff. Alright, so that's not working. But there you have that. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know down in the comment section. And if you're listening to the audio, let me know. Hit me up on social media at Video Game Voter. What you guys think. You can also follow the podcast on Twitter, like Legend of Nintendo Podcast. Next we have Samba de Amigo Party Central on August the 29th. And I'll be honest with you guys, I have not played this game before, but it looks awesome. Lately I've been getting into a lot of like beat and rhythm games, and if you look down here, now they got the games up. So Brotato will go for $4.99. Vampire Survivors will go $4.99. There's no price on Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, and Samba de Amigo Party Central will be $39.99. So let's get back to Samba de Amigo. Let's read what they got written up on this. Look like it's digital right now. I don't see a release date for physical. Says get up and shake it with Amigo and friends. It's time for an all-new Samba de Amigo and music rhythm game that allows you to party around the world. It's time to shake it on center stage in this vibrant rhythm action game. Amigo and his friends are back in Samba de Amigo Party Central. Pick up the maracas and groove to 40 hit songs from the world's most popular genres, with even more arriving as post-launch DLC. So one thing that I learned just from reading this, I'm not super familiar with this game, but apparently they utilize actual music instead of it just being like produced from the creators of the game. They're actually using music, so that seems pretty cool. This is something especially if you got kids, that you may want to look into picking up. It looks like it's a lot of fun, to be honest with you. I definitely would not mind playing that, especially I'm getting heavy into rhythm games. I don't know why, guys, but it's just one of those things where I'm just like kind of excited to try those different things out. And especially when you got interactive games where you use like your hands or your feet, kind of like DDR. I would love to have one of those down here in the game room, or just in the house, period. I think it'd be awesome just to have that, but just kind of give you that feel of having fun with your family. So let's get into some other news now. Apparently on August the 4th, let's look at the screen again, they are releasing icon elements inspired by The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom for a limited time. Time to refresh your icon redeem your My Nintendo Platinum points for exclusive rewards, including icon elements. You can create a new look for your icon. So Wave 1 releases on August 3rd, which obviously came out 6 p.m. Wave 2 will be here on August the 10th, so that's coming up. Wave 3 will be August the 17th, Wave 4 August the 24th, and Wave 5 August the 31st. So you can decide. That's just talking about Legend of Zelda game itself. So I guess that's pretty cool. You can add like a little, change your avatars for your account for Nintendo Online. It's not bad. They got ones with Zelda on here and different characters. Of course, I guess they figured Link is always on there, so it don't look like Link is making an appearance on there. So now apparently they also have, let's move on to this. Apparently you could play for free. It's a special offer for Nintendo Switch Online members. From August 4th to August 10th, you could play and trial. It says game trials. You could trial Dragon Ball FighterZ. From August 4th to August 10th, it's a free download, and it's a special offer for Nintendo Switch Online members only. You can't just get that and just log on and just try to play the game. You have to be a member of the Nintendo Switch Online service. So if you guys aren't familiar with Dragon Ball FighterZ, it's just a fantastic game. I'm not sure if I would suggest this on the Switch. I haven't played it, but you know, some games you just kind of know is probably not the best for the Switch, but I'm not sure how well they can, you know, port this over. That's something that I'm just going to have to check out. If you guys have played Dragon Ball FighterZ in general, but if you specifically played it on the Switch, please let me know down in the comment section or hit me up on social media at Video Game Voting on all platforms and let me know what's your thoughts on that game, and if specifically for the Switch, what you think about it. Do you think that they did well by porting it over? But so it says if you decide to purchase the game during or after this offer, you'll keep all save data, so you won't have to worry about losing your progress. As an added bonus, for a limited time, you can purchase this digital title for 84% off in the Dragon Ball FighterZ Fighter Z Pass, which is highly recommended, guys. I'm telling you, so many different characters that you can add. It just makes the game fun. I highly recommend DLC if you do get it. You can get DLC for 72% off. The sale ends August 10th at 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. So that's pretty awesome, you know, that Nintendo's offering that. And just in general, just, you know, offering games that you can try out before buying. I definitely recommend Dragon Ball FighterZ. Again, I'm not familiar with it on the Switch. I do have it on the PS4 and the Xbox, but not on the Switch. I may have to pick up because I actually really enjoyed the game, man. Honestly, it's definitely, it's taken over since Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite drop, which was disappointing to a lot of people. But Dragon Ball FighterZ is a fantastic fighter game. It's definitely in that vein and in that pocket of Marvel vs. Capcom. You know, obviously, beneath Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, we're talking about Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and the ones that came prior to that. So, and we gotta discuss, I wouldn't say the elephant in the room, but the discussion that is heating up all over the gaming world. And we're talking about the rumors of developers receiving dev kits for what is perceived to be the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, I'm excited about it. Nintendo always comes out of left field as far as their ideas and where they go. Like, if you think about the history of Nintendo and their releases of the consoles, they never repeat, or they just evolve whatever is their last project, and it's always so different, so innovative, something just completely out the box. And one of the things that's noticeable when Nintendo releases new consoles is they always change that controller. You get an image of that controller first, and that's always the first thing. I don't know if they just literally create the controller first, but the controller always comes first, and it's always so just innovative. It's never the same. People hated the N64 controller, but if you played the N64, especially in its prime and its heyday, that's couch co-op classic #1 hands down. Like, we played in those days, like, you you got used to that controller, and it didn't ever feel weird to you. It's all in how you hold the controller. Like, you guys you would have had to be there to understand. So hopefully you guys listening and watching, you guys seen that. I hope that Nintendo Switch, that N64 controller was just different. So what I'm hoping is, I'm hoping that Nintendo, they kind of like slow roll. They don't do too much. They stay in their pocket, and I feel like they have their pocket. I definitely hope that it remains handheld in some kind of ways. But some improvements I would like to see them is, on the power perspective, maybe, a little bit better in graphics, especially in dock mode, not so much in handheld mode. And one of the rumors is they're going to an LCD screen. And I'm sure, guys, a lot of people look at that as a step back from the OLED screen. And I guess you could see it that way. But with what I'm guessing will probably end up happening is basically with the Switch, they're going to obviously come out with different models eventually. But the LCD, even that, it's rumored to have a larger screen. Obviously, the OLED looks good. It depends on what your preference. Some people don't really prefer the OLED. The OLED screen to me looks amazing. That's what I currently have. But them having a larger screen, I would like to see the power increase. Obviously, being able to undock a console and in handheld mode, I don't really see how much power you could put in that. And don't get me wrong, because I'm not like a super top-notch specs guy. Maybe that's possible, but I feel like you can't really do that. So, and that takes away from, the hopes of it being a more powerful system. But I really wouldn't mind. For one, I absolutely feel like it has to remain handheld. And to be honest with you, I don't feel the need for a brand new console anytime soon. Like, because I feel like the Nintendo Switch has been very successful, and I feel like they can keep going and give themselves time to like fully develop something, or maybe eventually turning the Nintendo Switch into a fully handheld console, and then, or handheld system, and then returning to a full-blown complete console that you can play at home, like a standalone console, not something that you could do both. I would love to see that, but I definitely feel like they should stay in the pocket of handheld. I feel like Nintendo they had that title, they've been had it, they started it, and they do it the best. And look at everything that's been spawned from that Nintendo Switch and its success. You got the ROG from I forgot who made that. I'm sorry, one of those companies. But you got that. Of course, you got the Steam Deck, and all these companies trying their hands at handheld because they see how successful the Nintendo Switch was, and it spawned all these ideas for different people and different PC players and stuff like that to be able to take their stuff on the go. I felt like it was like, yeah, Nintendo does that. We would love to have these games go, be able to play them on the go. So it definitely spawned some ideas. Another thing, I just hope that they don't slow roll some of the basic technology. Like, it took them 3 years to add Bluetooth to the Switch, which I feel like was ridiculous because all the technology and stuff was already installed. It was there, especially for the Joy-Cons. It was there, and it literally update, and then you had Bluetooth. Well, you had all these companies creating all these different dongles to try to give you Bluetooth service and stuff like that, which it just took way too long, and it frustrated a lot of people because whether Nintendo chooses to grow or not, they have to understand that a lot of things are just common sense. But that's going to do it for this first episode. I hope you guys continue to tune in. We don't have a set day or set schedule yet, but just be on the lookout. Make sure you follow us on all gaming and social platforms, and also follow on your favorite podcast platform. It's your boy, the video game voter, the Nintendo World Champion, signing off. Till next episode.